Hey, Paul Tumey here. Good to see you. So, every once in a while, you're digging around in a book and you come across a mention of a comic that you never heard of, or it's a good lead into something um, that's worth pursuing. And I found something a couple of days ago and I saved it to explore with you. So, here it is. It is in this book, The Laurel and Hardy Encyclopedia by Glenn Mitchell, two N's, two L's. And the entry is Helpful Henry. An early newspaper strip, Helpful Henry was recalled by Oliver Hardy, and they don't tell you where they're getting this, unfortunately, as an influence on his screen character, its titular hero being big, important, and fussy, trying to help but always making a mess of things. Hardy described the strip as having appeared in Georgia papers of his boyhood, but this is unlikely. It is probable that he had confused the name with one of several bearing similar titles. Okay, that's a rather mysterious entry. Now, it just so happens I have quite a collection of Laurel and Hardy books. I love these guys. And this right here is a biography of Oliver Hardy. Let's just take a quick peek in the index and see. By the way, I highly recommend this book. John McCabe is well known for his biography of Laurel and Hardy, but he also did a great one on Babe. So Helpful Henry's not listed in here. Too bad. It's not a very thorough index, though. So I was looking to see if there's a comic strip in here. Oh well. Okay, so going to the internet, I'm on Google, and I suppose the first thing to do would be to look up Helpful Henry. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Boolean search technique of quotation marks, which tells it to search for these words and these combinations. And we get a Wikipedia entry, and here it is. And it even mentions Oliver Hardy. Helpful Henry was an American gag-a-day comic strip created by cartoonist J.P. Arno. Arno did The Little General, which some of you may have seen. It's the silent strip that has the statue in it. The series ran from 1922 until 27. So that's not Oliver Hardy's boyhood. Oliver Hardy was born in 1898. So say he was 10 years old. That would be 1908, not 1922. He was 24 years old in 1922. It's hardly his boyhood. It was syndicated by King Features, International Feature Service, which later became known as King Feature Syndicate, which means it got wide distribution, presumably. Despite its brief run, and that's not a brief run for a daily comic strip, 5 years is pretty good. Actor Oliver Hardy of Laurel and Hardy fame said the character was an inspiration for his own screen character. He described Helpful Henry as being big, fussy, and self-important, but underneath it all, he was a very nice fellow. Okay, well, do they give you an example of the strip? No. So, let's go to newspapers.com, which is a site that you subscribe to. Oh, that's not it. That's it. Cost about 10, 12 bucks a month, I think. For me, for a researcher, it's well worth it. You can see I already looked in here. It's because I shot an earlier video and there's a lot of meandering around, and I didn't want to put you through all that pain. So this is a slightly staged search, but it replicates the process. So when we put it in with just Helpful Henry, we're getting 17,000 matches. But the sort is best match. And I did use quotes here, Helpful Henry. So let's see what this first one says. Okay, that's just a death notice that Arno died. So let's see if we can find the comic strip itself. And that's pretty easy to do. On newspapers.com, I love that they give you a little bit of the actual image. So when you're looking for comics, it's really easy. You know, they jump out. A comic strip will jump out. There's a comic strip, but I can tell you that's BC, not by Johnny Hart, not what we're looking for. I might need to narrow it down. Yeah, let's narrow it down by date. And you can do that. Well, look, see where that tall peak is? That's probably the strip right there. When is that starting? Yeah, that starts in 22 and it goes to 26. And I'm going to narrow it down here too. Okay, it's considerably narrowed down. Now we should start seeing some examples of the comic strip, hopefully. Scrolling back up to the top. Where is the strip? Ah, here we go. Jumped right out. In the well-known paper known as the Farmer Stockman. Golly, by golly, I'll allow no wife of mine to chop wood in the hot sun. So helpful. So this is a little promo piece, which is cool. Very neat. Okay, and so let's see if there's one in this issue of the paper. That looks like a comic right there. Yeah, there it is. I love how easy it is to find comic strips on newspapers.com. Okay, Helpful Henry. Mister, can you direct me to Tanktown? Sure, it's 5 miles right down this road. I'm going that way myself. So he's big, he's helpful, he's smoking a pipe, which Hardy didn't smoke. Just follow my tracks and you can't go wrong. So helpful. Okay, so there's a taste of Helpful Henry. But, you know, the problem is Hardy, remembered it from his childhood, and this didn't appear in his childhood. So either he's recently, so Laurel and Hardy, when they got together and started making movies as a team, that was 1927, I believe. And, by 1930, they were nationally famous, or maybe even 29 or 28. And I could see him giving, an interview and trying to remember a comic strip from his childhood about a helpful person. I don't know, kind of maybe getting Happy Hooligan mixed up. That's where I'm going with this, with Helpful Henry. Or whoever wrote this down and attributed his quote got mixed up themselves. And he wasn't talking about his childhood. He was talking about a comic strip that was that ran for 5 years, right up until the time that Laurel and Hardy started making movies together, which was 1927. So there you go. There's a little bit of comics history research.